All right, we're about to go live. And I think we're live. And we are live. Let's do this, baby. Let's go.
Michelle Obama will not stop whining.
Do you think that that impacts the room that we've made for a woman to be president?
Well, as we saw in this past election, sadly, we ain't ready. That's why I'm like, don't even look at me about running, because you all are lying. You're not ready for a woman. You are not. So don't waste my time. You know, we got a lot of growing up to do.
She's telling us how she really feels.
Dude, once again, they are going after their own party. They're literally calling their own party misogynist. She's literally saying, you're not ready for a woman president. Basically calling out, just like Barack Obama, her husband, same thing he did by calling out black people, saying that you have to, how come you're not voting for a black woman?
She's not proud of this country. Again.
Crazy, bro.
We're not ready for a girl boss. The closest we got to a girl boss was her husband. But she had Barry give the brothers the talk, and they didn't listen. So Michelle just put the country in timeout until you grow up. If we're not ready for Michelle, we're definitely not ready for Kamala.
We definitely need a major part of our country to grow up. That's for sure. We had too many people that right now currently that are on this welfare kick, that want free shit, that want socialism, that want to tax the rich more to make, you know, everything else free for them. And it hasn't worked. We've been trying this for a long time. Doesn't work. The more welfare we give people, the more money we throw at all this stuff, the worse it gets. We have a track record. We have history. We have 250 years, and we already know what's happened. So I'm not sure what
she went back on the road, and this.
We do need to grow up. I think we need to cut the welfare, cut all these freebies, and allow everyone a chance to grow up.
Time she upgraded tampon.
Let me be very clear. It's nice to finally meet me. I need you to know, right? This is all for you.
You bring people so much joy, knowing clear-eyed what we're up against, but giving people a way to laugh at themselves and each other and me.
Yeah. We have to, because to be clear.
What is that, bro? What is that?
Kamala 2.0 hits different. She even has new material.
I purposely say information and not facts, because 2 + 2 = 4 every day.
What is going on,
That's a
dude?
fact.
The word salads are getting bigger.
Wow.
The cackling is getting louder. Kamala's showing up to the party and looking around like, where are the white dudes for Harris at?
Generally, they were very anti-normal guys. Like, if you, there's
what do you mean, normal guys?
It's okay.
Are
to
you
be
saying
like
there's only one way to be a guy?
If that girl's hot, hey, that girl's hot. I want to drink. I want to party. I like frat parties. I like that. That was all bad. Like, and to be honest, it's of course the white guy, and this sounds, but was the bad guy. Became the bad guy. And there's a lot of white dudes who are like, well, I'm not the bad guy. Like, what are you getting mad at me for?
Kamala wanted a white guy as her husband, but made the rest of us white guys feel like we weren't wanted. Maybe Doug liked being the bad boy, but that's not our thing. Guys are just trying to watch football, and these women are making a scene.
Bro, they destroyed the men in their party. They literally, the feminist wing of the Democrat Party turned all the Democrat men into betas, bro. They already they destroyed all the men in their party.
That was Governor Kathy Hochul at a Bills bar, blowing bubbles, while guys were just trying to watch the game. If Democrats want to win men back, I'd leave the bubbles at home. The only thing they have is the great white hope, Gavin Newsom. Gavin's jockeying with Kamala like they're back in San Francisco.
Gavin is not the great white hope, bro. Great white hope is Donald Trump, baby.
The only problem.
What's up, aquariums?
Newsom's still lost in the jungle.
So I'm here in the heart of the Amazon, just walked up 15 stories on top of a data tower. 27 years in the making with sensors and data that is collected and shared all across the United States of America, including in the state of California. But the data they've collected.
Which interview, bro? You talking about the one that you sent earlier?
Collected here only underscores the seriousness and severity of neglect and denial as it relates to the issue of climate change.
Oh, it's been day gazillion of Newsom's trip to the Amazon. He swapped his backpack for a hard hat and climbed up to a tower to put his head.
No, dude, I haven't seen that interview yet, bro. I got to watch that one for sure. I got a couple that I got to watch.
Where it belongs, in the clouds. By the way, do you know how much Newsom's personal photographer makes? $200,000 a year just to take pictures of Newsom's hair in a rainforest. Gavin hasn't had this much fun since he steamrolled Chinese kids in the paint. Maybe someone should tell the governor, don't go naked.
Definitely got two to watch, bro. I got to watch the one with Charlie's head of security and Sean Ryan, the one you're talking about. And I also got to watch the Ted Cruz. Yeah, there's a Ted Cruz interview. I've got to watch that one too. So
go home. Southern California is underwater. He should figure out a way to save it, for the next fire. But Newsom's going sightseeing in Rio. Here he is marveling at the Christ of the Redeemer statue. Democrats are hoping Gavin can be their redeemer, but no one's flocking to him. They're
bro,
flocking
can you
away.
send me that
I'm kind of
interview
in
you're
this
talking
kind
about?
of LA thing, and this I could be guilty of being a victim of like what I'm absorbing in my algorithm, but like Gavin Newsom scares the shit out of me, and I don't want to be a part of it.
You know what else is getting packed into a U-Haul? The Palestinian.
I love that, bro. He's a bozo, but he's a good background character.
Chuck Schumer. AOC's the one behind the wheel, and she's driving him right back to the Gaza Strip.
The stakes are life and death. And that means that we want to make sure that we have Democratic leadership that is strong enough to withstand that. And so I think that's what this conversation is about. And I think we can get there.
Spartacus is ready to go to war, too.
Chuck Schumer's generation, Nancy Pelosi's generation, John Lewis's generation, they have.
Hans, bro, hit him up, dog. You want me to hit him up for you? I'll tell him Hans is down. He'll take pictures of you for free.
So much to be proud
Let's go.
of. It is time, though, for new leadership.
Democrats are writing Chuck's obituary, and he doesn't even know it yet.
The question is, what is the future of Democratic leadership? Who is going to be effective? And most Democrats around the country just don't think that person is Chuck Schumer. I mean, he doesn't inspire.
Yeah, bro, it's a late night stream. We just got started, bro. Let's do this. Let's go. Got a couple videos lined up. We got a couple good ones.
He's not bold. He's out of touch with the grassroots.
Schumer's pulling a Biden. He's barricading himself in the Senate like it's Wilmington.
He's calling you out of touch with the grassroots. Is it fair criticism? Do you envision any leadership change anytime soon?
Look, I am doing what I have done for my whole career. I'm fighting hard to bring Americans' costs down. I'm fighting hard to deliver for New York. I've done that my whole career. I'm going to continue to do that, period.
Biden said he wasn't going anywhere, too. Look what happened. Schumer held the country hostage, and now he's holding his own party hostage. He's like Jordan Belfort. He's not effing leaving. And he's sending out the mod squad out to fight for him. Watch.
Some folks like AOC may think that's nothing. Virginians think it's an awful lot. And second, if the goal was to try to get health care front and center, she was not at the table with the Republicans in the Senate. I don't tell Ro Khanna or AOC or anybody else who you should pick as your House leader, because I got a full-time job being a senator.
Chuck even tried to force the Epstein files out just to keep his name out of other people's mouths. Chuck and Hakeem both know Trump's clean. Schumer lost his base, and now he's lost his hearing.
Schumer's lost a lot of things, bro. Schumer's on his way out, but the problem is the guy's not up for re-election until 2029. Last time we looked this up, so I don't know how we're gonna get rid of Schumer. I think the first thing we need to do is get rid of Schumer as the leader. So he's the majority leader. Eric, what's up, Eric? He says Medi Genix, bro. Let's do this, baby. Yeah, dude. Schumer's Dunsky, dude. Is my sound coming in good?
Why wouldn't they have been released the last 4 years when President Biden was in office?
Well, that's the question every American is asking. Not every American, but so many Americans are asking. What the hell is he hiding?
Trump's not hiding anything. He just said he'll release everything the government has on Epstein.
I do want to. Here's what I want. We have nothing to do with Epstein. The Democrats do. All of his friends were Democrats. You look at this Reid Hoffman, you look at Larry Summers, Bill Clinton, they went to his island all the time, and many others. They're all Democrats.
Trump sounds like he's sick, bro. He's got a flu or something, or he's got a cold or something. But hairline, how's the hairline, bro? Hairline looking good? I got a lot of lights on, so you could probably see my scalp. But, dude, what is up with that? They are all Democrats. All of the Epstein people are Democrats, bro. That's the problem. And now that the Dems have lost their minds and went completely apeshit on the Epstein files, it's all coming out, dude.
Once that resolution passes,
and from what I understand, from what I see, it's biting him in the ass. And even Hakeem Mahmoud Mohammed Jeffries doesn't want to talk about it.
The DOJ has 30 days to release everything they have on the dead pedophile. That includes the flight logs, his connections to powerful people, DOJ and FBI investigation files, and information about his 2008 sweetheart deal and his death in federal custody. Now, we're not going to get everything. The DOJ can hold back anything related to national security, which could be a lot because Epstein was likely intelligence, as well as grand jury testimony and anything sealed. Representative Anna Paulina Luna just announced that Bill and Hillary Clinton are refusing to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee investigating Epstein. All of these Democrats screaming about Epstein are suddenly turning into cowards. No wonder men are leaving the Democrat Party. Stephen A. says the party's packed with cowards.
They turned them into cowards, bro. Literally, the Dems themselves, the feminists in the Democratic Party, literally turned their own men of the Democratic Party, the liberal men, into beta males, bro.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Oh, dude. And Aquarium says, I'm thinning, bro. Come on, man. Come on now. Hopefully, bro, if you can get to my age and still have a solid head of hair, dude. Come on, bro. Doing all right, man. But Hans, bro, sorry, dude. You just noticed. Are you thinning out or what?
AOC has been invited on the show for 4 months.
Listen to this, dude.
Gavin Newsom has been invited on this show.
Listen to this, bro. Here's the thing. And this dude, he's more center now, but Stephen Smith Stephen A. Smith was a Democrat, is typically left-leaning. And no Democrats will go on his show. But that's how Democrats are, period. Democrats won't go on anybody's show unless it's completely doctored up and it's dialed in and they have all their script down. They know every question. They know everything. They won't do it. They just won't do it. They won't even go on Stephen A. Smith's show. Listen to this.
For longer than that. Chuck Schumer's been invited on this show, hasn't shown up. Where they at? He has been invited on this show.
Men are leaving the Democrat Party.
Look at
Stephen A. says the party's packed with cowards.
AOC has been invited on the show for 4 months. Gavin Newsom has been invited on this show for longer than that. Chuck Schumer's been invited on this show, hasn't shown up. Where they at? Every single Republican I have asked to show up on this show has either said yes or that they're coming. Not the Dems. Why?
The only Democrat doing any talking is the destroyer. Schiff's getting all hot and bothered. Watch.
I think Mamdani was benefited by being young and handsome, and I'm working on that. He also had a very clear agenda.
This dude and Schumer are on their last leg, bro. And thank you, Hans. Appreciate you, bro. But I'm 45. And yeah, there are some Persians that look good all the way through 67 to 70. My pop's is 75. He's looking good. But a lot don't, bro.
That he's stuck to with.
Vico is right. Vico in Instagram says they won't show up. None of the Dems will show up for interviews or to have discussions, even on their own party's channels, unless it's completely doctored up.
Ruthless discipline. And it was one focused on meeting New Yorkers where they lived, literally. What it takes to pay your rent and get to work and buy food is what I think really resonated.
This commie crush is bad news. Even Bill Maher knows it.
Finally, New World Democrats must recognize that
Here we
Zohran
go.
Mamdani is the future of the party. Unfortunately, it's the Republican Party. Get it? And if you missed his victory speech in last week's mayoral election in New York, don't worry. You'll see it in every attack ad for the next 2 years.
The party of Slick Willie's, the party of Kami Mamdani. The Raging Cajun's fuming. He wants the opposite of Mamdani. Jewish Josh Shapiro.
If John Fetterman is the smartest person in the Democratic Party is in really, really, really deep trouble.
Oh, wow.
Really deep trouble.
Dude, he's just figuring out the party's in deep trouble. John Fetterman is the best person on their side, literally. I've been saying this for over a year. Just at least for a year straight. If more Democrats were like John Fetterman, they would have a strong chance in 2028. If they continue with what they did last election, they're screwed. And they haven't changed anything. They haven't changed any of the rhetoric. There's no new policies. Everything is just anti-Trump. That's it.
If I want to listen to somebody from Pennsylvania Democratic Party, I will listen to Governor Josh Shapiro every day, 7 days a week.
Democrats are focused on trans, green scams, and just knifing each other in the back. Carville says you can't ignore it.
Democrats were into transitioning genders. Now they're transitioning their own ideologies quicker than they're transitioning their genders. They went from woke to, I don't know what it was, a free Palestine, and now they're going to Democrat socialism, and right after that is straight socialism and Marxism, and then of course we know that's a stepping stone to communism. So get ready, put your seatbelts on.
You have to purge it.
When one part of the coalition becomes destructive to the other parts, then it's time to reconsider your relationship with it. Now, the identity left, which I call it, or you can call it woke, we might just have to affirmatively attack it because it was so stupid.
Dude, and then we have these dudes like Dan in the chat. He says Dems weren't into transitioning genders. MAGA just blew it up. Dems were all about transitioning genders. Do you know why so many? Not so many. All of the liberals have the pronouns on their social media.
And it was so unpopular, and no one wanted to use that.
Liberals want men in women's sports, and even more than that, they want men in women's bathrooms, bro. They're bored out of their minds. They have nothing else to do. They went to the end of the internet. They doom scrolled till their fingers hurt, till their fingers fall off. They're bored out of their minds. Now they want to break shit. They're like kids. You know, when you give kids everything they want, then nothing captures their attention anymore. So now they want to break shit. And what are they breaking? They're breaking gender. Now that they're done breaking gender, they want to break society. Now they're Democrat socialists. Here we go.
That kind of language, and it was a giant mistake.
But just because the Democrats.
Dan continued. He says, never heard Biden, Kamala, or Obama even mention that. Oh, really? Did you forget about Kamala, who was helping men in jail transition to women so they can go into women jails? Did you forget all about all that? Come on now.
The Democrat Party's collapsing.
Dude, the left is literally allergic to facts.
Republicans can't take anything for granted. The American dream for some is still a stretch. And President Trump, after the last election, is really dialed in. He just wrapped up a McDonald's summit.
I'm honored to stand before you as the very first former McDonald's fry cook ever to become president of the United States. As you may have heard, I'm also one of your all-time most loyal customers. You fed us
Yeah, he's definitely sick. I could hear his voice, bro. He's not feeling good. He's coming down with something.
very well, and I even got Bobby Kennedy to eat a Big Mac.
He's still got jokes though, bro. Check him out. He says he even got Bobby Kennedy to eat a Big Mac.
Bidenomics set this country back.
Let's go back.
As you may have heard, I'm also one of your all-time most loyal customers. You fed us very well, and I even got Bobby Kennedy to eat a Big Mac. And he told me he loved
bro.
Bidenomics
How could you not love the Great White Hope?
The Great White Hope. This country back decades, and the president's launching an all-out push to reverse it.
The word is affordable, and affordable should be our word, not theirs, because the Democrats got up and talked affordability,
Dude,
affordability.
this is so
and
good.
They don't say that they had the worst inflation in history, the highest energy prices in history. Everything was the worst.
They had the worst inflation, and I'm about to show you that right now. This is my video that I posted because it's just annoying how the Democrats literally are allergic to facts and forget. Look at this right here. Let me hit the sound on it for you. It was way down. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Is inflation up or down? Under Daddy Trump's first term, it was way down. Right Under here. Joe Biden, aka Autopen, and the lefty lunatic Democrats, it was at record highs, higher than it's been in the last 45 years. And if you're curious, it's about 9, almost 10% inflation under Joe Biden's term that we just luckily, thank God, got passed. Under Daddy Trump's second term, it's back way down, and he's doing things to bring it down even lower and keep it there going forward. Is inflation up or down? Under Daddy Trump's first term, it was way down. Under Joe Biden, aka Autopen, and the lefty lunatic Democrats, it was at record highs, higher than it's been in the last 45 years. Yep, there you go, bro. So, love
it's
it,
year
dude.
one, and it's not even Thanksgiving.
You know what I love? You know what I love? Donald Trump realized that he needs to keep talking and working on the economy and cost of living, and he's literally doing it. He did it on the fly. Literally, guys, you guys know this. Within the last couple of days, we were talking about this, and his own party even mentioned it to him, and he's now literally every day I hear him talk, and we see it live on my show. He's talking about affordability. Here we go.
Is affordable, and affordable should be our word, not theirs, because the Democrats got up and talked affordability, and they don't say that they had the worst inflation in history, the highest energy prices in history. Everything was the worst.
It's year one, and it's not even Thanksgiving. This Thanksgiving, frozen turkeys are 25% cheaper, 25 cents cheaper per pound than last year. Walmart, Aldi's, Kroger's Thanksgiving, all less expensive than they were last year.
Yep.
Prices are still high, but tariff rebates are just around the corner. For people on Obamacare, he might cut out the middleman, the insurance companies, and you can get a check directly to yourself to handle your own health care.
I've had personal talks with some Democrats. I can't tell you who they are. I just don't want to do that. It's not fair to them. About paying large amounts of dollars back to the people. The insurance companies are making a fortune.
Oh, Dan says in the chat right here, he says, when did inflation go down? During Biden's term. Yeah, Biden did the worst shit possible to destroy inflation, make it up to 9, almost 10%. And then when he realized how much he screwed up and how they have to win the election, this next election, to get reelected, they tried bringing it down to show that they brought inflation down, and it still wasn't enough. They had no policies. They had nothing to sell to the American people. If you guys remember, he flopped in the debate, and Kamala Harris, the only policy that we can remember from Kamala Harris was the one she literally stole from Trump, no tax on tips. Remember that?
Their stock is up over 1,000% over a short period of time. Why don't we just pay this money directly to the people of our country and let them buy their own health insurance?
Trump could be 86ing Obama's legacy. If Obamacare's gone, what happens to his library? That could be one big, beautiful, empty wing. Trump's working so hard his voice is shot.
Your voice sounds a little rough. Are you feeling all right?
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out.
I love it, bro. Bro, come on. How can you not love him, bro?
Stack at these people.
They're
Michelle Obama's
stupid.
yelling
Come
at
on,
you
bro.
for
Let's do
being-
this again.
I feel great. I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. But I blew my stack at these people.
I love it.
Michelle Obama's yelling at you for being too sexist. Trump is
I
yelling at other
love it, bro. That is so
Begin with
good.
something that we're calling a socialist contagion. It's ripping through the entire Democratic Party. It's got no end in sight. Take a look.
We've run this experiment many times, and the results are always obvious. Here's capitalist South Korea at night from space. Here's socialist North Korea. Yeah. Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century or any century. A mess.
Bro, it doesn't matter, bro. No matter how much you say it, you're gonna have the dudes like Dan in the chat who love socialism. You're gonna have people like Surfer Dude, or who was a Skyler. That was, all these guys are allergic to facts, and they think they've come up with brand new shit. Oh, I'm a Democrat socialist. It's not the same. I like Democrat socialism. It's like, okay, bro, nice, cool story, but not gonna work.
It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening.
A rude awakening said, oh yeah, Mamdani, best thing for Republicans. Bill Maher, by the way, more of a traditional Democrat, saying something that virtually all Democrats used to believe in. Now, socialism, communism, Marxism, whatever you want to call it, always ends the same way. Unfulfilled promises, more poverty, suffering, misery, and at the end of the day, you will calculate a loss of freedom that you have given up in the name of false security. Now, it is a vile ideology. It's based not in reality. It has resulted in tens of millions of deaths worldwide, but it's not stopping Democrats in New York City from easily electing an anti-Semitic radical with extremist ties. We affectionately call him Zoran Commie Marxist Mamdani. In fact, now you have New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She's now bowing at the altar of Mamdani, eager to support him in any way he needs and wants. She knows what's happening in the Democratic Party.
Good question, Mac. He says, well, then what are you? Exactly. Well, tell us, what are you then, bro?
He is the governor in name only in the state of New York. Meanwhile, just look at Democrats in Seattle, in Washington, who picked a 40-year-old socialist, by the way, still financially being supported by mommy and daddy, to be the next mayor over the incumbent Democrat. In Maine, Democrats there are lining up behind a pro-Antifa communist lunatic running for the Senate, who until recently had a Nazi tattoo. Even the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, he is now currently facing a primary challenge from a 27-year-old socialist BLM organizer, friend, and supporter of Mamdani himself. And Trump hater Dan Goldman, he could also be facing a very serious challenge from the left. And let's not forget AOC's thirst for power. Chucky Schumer's days, they are numbered. That is a fact. And meanwhile, a socialist community organizer is also challenging. Look at this in Los Angeles, Karen Bass. I didn't know it was possible to challenge Mayor Bass from the left, but apparently here is the moment we're living in. Even Spartacus himself is now calling for a political mutiny to make room for all the new young socialists that now are taking over his party.
What up, beautiful Bill?
All bowing at the altar, trying to get on
What up, man?
board that train. Take a look.
Chuck Schumer's generation, Nancy Pelosi's generation, John Lewis's generation, they have so much to be proud of. It is time, though, for new leadership. the other generations, X, millennials, Z, it's time for us to step up. The stage is waiting for us to lead, not just the party, but the nation right now.
Can you please put your eyes back in their sockets, please, just for a second?
Now, with socialism, Marxism taking full hold of the Democratic Party and they're catering to an increasingly radical base, they are also turning away scores and scores of voters who do not pass the political purity test. Got to be politically pure in your socialism, Marxism. Take a look.
What happened to the Democrats? Why did they lose so many young men?
People often think I have the answer. My nutshell is generally they were very anti-normal guys. Like if you, there's
what do you mean normal guys?
It's okay.
Are you saying there's only one way to be a guy?
If that girl's hot, hey, that girl's hot. I want to drink. I want to party. I like frat parties. I like that. That was all bad. Like, and to be honest, it's the white guy, and this sounds, but
they use their feminist wing of their Democratic Liberal Party. They use the feminist wing to turn their men in their party into beta men. As I just said,
beta male.
Beta male. They turn them all to beta males.
Beta male.
And so that they can control them. So they can control all their men. Their men can't think for themselves. Look, you got Dan in the chat. Is allergic to facts. They can't think for themselves. They don't know what they don't they don't know what a woman is. They don't know what genders they are. They don't know what's up from down. Dude, they're all jumbled up. Their brains are mush, bro. Their men in their party are done with them. They're finally starting to figure it out. It's absolutely insane. They pushing this thing called toxic masculinity. Why? Because supposedly men made up this patriarchy, and men it's men's fault that they have muscles and women don't, and it's men's fault that men are it's men's fault that men want to be plumbers and women's don't. It's men's fault that they like engineering and women like education, and not actual education, but teaching education. 75%. These are facts. I know you guys on the left are allergic to facts. 75% of people that are graduating in education studies in colleges are women. Nobody's forcing them to do that. They want to do that. 75% of people that are graduating in engineering type shit are men. Nobody's forcing them to do that. These are choices people make on their own. When you leave them to their own will, this is what they want to do. And then after they get these degrees and they they're literally they're telling you this is what they want to pursue. This is why they got these degrees. People go, oh, but no, we need more women in engineering. We need to equal everything out. It's like, no, dude, no. Everyone is fine. Everyone is able to make this is America. People make their own decisions. But no. They act like it's men's fault that all this stuff is happening. And it's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild. And they want to change everything. They call it toxic masculinity.
Was the bad guy, became the bad guy. And there's a lot of, white dudes who are like, well, I'm not the bad guy. Like, what are you getting mad at me for? I wasn't here for colonialism or any of the stuff that you guys are complaining about.
Not Dave Portnoy. A guy's guy, except when he's around his favorite dog, Miss Peaches. Funniest stuff you'll ever see on the internet. Now, many Democrats are just simply living in another stratosphere. They're in their little bubble. They're shielded from reality, from their obsession with trans kids, to their support for emptying prisons, to their support for unfettered, unvetted, illegal immigration.
It's your fault, Mac. It's all of our faults. We all men, we conspired. I before I was born, I went and had a meeting with all the other men, and I said, you know what? I want to make sure men are like this, and men are going to be stronger than women, and men are going to control them. No, bro. Everyone has their thing that they do and that they like to do, that they're good at doing. You know, men should be providers, protectors, leaders. They should be. Women would rather have men be providers, rather have men be protectors. They would rather do that. You know who they nudge when they hear a noise at night while they're sleeping? Well, if they hear something at the door, guess who they nudge? Guess who? Men. The very men that they say, oh, that's toxic masculinity. Why did you guys do that to us? Oh, you're hurting my feelings. We have to change everything.
To their constant hatred of all things Donald J. Trump, it really is an alternate universe. You're watching a movement that we've never witnessed in this country unfold right before your eyes. That's why you see unhinged riots just like this one all around the country against ICE agents, this one in North Carolina, and they're just trying to do their job, apprehend people that...
Men said it great. Good men in a relationship allow women to relax into their feminine. To allow women, yes, that's exactly what it is.
Did not respect our laws, our borders, our sovereignty. Take a look.
Look, and women want to act like lunatics, and they think it's cool. And then they wonder why when they're 40 years old and no man ever wanted them in their whole life. They wonder why. It's like, dude, you're acting like a man. No man wants a woman that's a man, bro.
Very sad, unfortunately, for so many on the left. Trump derangement syndrome, it is driving them crazy. In fact, a psychotherapist told Fox News that this is a real pathology plaguing 75% of his patients. Wow, that's a lot of space that Donald Trump takes up in people's minds. But I do have good news for all of those that do suffer from TDS. There is nothing to fear. Donald Trump is doing the job that he said he would do, securing the border. He's evicting criminal, illegal aliens that actually didn't obey our laws. Yes, improving the economy, laying the foundation for great success, lowering inflation, lowering gas prices, draining the swamp, and he is making the world a safer, more peaceful place. That's it.
In other words, he's doing everything we elected him to do. He said, if you elect me as your president, this is what I'm going to do. We said, oh, wow, you know what? That's actually, we want that. So we're going to vote for you. And hopefully you will be elected. The dude got elected. He's our president and he's your daddy. And now he's doing all of the things that he told us he was going to do. So just saddle up and enjoy the ride, bro. It's good. It's a good thing.
The would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks.
It's our country doing what it's supposed to do. We vote. The guy gets elected. He does what he said that he's going to do. That's America. What are you mad about?
Raising serious questions about whether federal agencies missed red flags before
Trump is your daddy. Exactly.
Last year's shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania. The New York Post's Miranda Devine reporting that a source reviewed 17 social media accounts tied to Crooks, revealing an extensive online footprint the feds have not openly discussed. Crooks allegedly used they, them pronouns on the platform, posted years of violent rhetoric, and flipped from pro-Trump to openly anti-Trump in the months leading up to the attack. One former FBI agent telling Devine if they have investigated that kid, there's a record of it, and there's an assessment that some leader made that was not a threat, or it rose to a level and they did something else. New York Post columnist Miranda Devine joins us now. Miranda, welcome to you. Seems that you've got some pretty big findings here. What have your sources revealed to you?
Thanks, Sandra. Well, they've told us that there was actually a very large digital footprint left behind by 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, who was Donald Trump's would-be assassin last year in Butler, Pennsylvania. It's quite a different story to the one that Christopher Wray and his deputy Paula Bate told Congress just in a couple of weeks after that assassination attempt. And we were sort of led to believe that Thomas Crooks was really a ghost, that there was no motive that could be ascertained from his online accounts. And yet a source has provided us with a lot of information from 17 different online accounts that Thomas Crooks had, and they range from, Google Play to that site you referenced before called DeviantArt, which is probably the biggest or one of the biggest hubs online for this sexual fetish called furries, where people dress up or fantasize about animal characters, cartoon characters that are sort of humanized. And so it's very bizarre, but we also saw that with Charlie Kirk's killer, alleged killer Tyler Robinson, who was also involved in this bizarre furry culture. So there's not a lot that my source discovered on those lines, but there was a little bit. The fact that this guy, Thomas Crooks, was interested in this furry site, spent a lot of time there, had various images that he liked and reposted, and also gave his pronouns as they, them. But I think the more important part is what the comments, his online comments from, he was very young, 15, 16, 17, show us about how he became increasingly violent and sort of radicalized against Democrats. He was pro-Trump. And then in January of 2020, he flipped 180 degrees. Something happened to make him become rabidly anti-Trump. And again, his rhetoric took more and more of a violent turn. He started brushing up against, there was a neo-Nazi by the name, fake name probably, William Tepes, who started encouraging Crooks in more and more violent rhetoric. And then suddenly something happened in August of 2020 and he just disappeared online. Very unusual. And then, of course, in July of 2024, he fired off 8 shots from a rooftop at Donald Trump at that rally in Butler, killing Corey Comparatore, who was sitting behind Donald Trump, and badly injuring 2 other rally goers and hitting Donald Trump in the ear. Only, by a miracle did Donald Trump not get killed that day.
Wow. And he certainly is unsatisfied with the answers. President Trump is that he.
So, guys, if you did not hear what this person just said because of the quote unquote Dan chat, the dude was into furries. The would-be assassin of Donald Trump was into furries. Yeah, exactly. They're lunatics, bro. These guys have completely lost touch with the reality, and look at the shit that they end up doing.
He has been given about the circumstances that led up to that moment, that day. Here is the former FBI Deputy Director Paula Bate on Crooks' social media. This was July 2024. Listen here.
There were over 700 comments posted from this account. Some of these comments, if ultimately attributable to the shooter, appear to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes, to espouse political violence.
Again, guys, this is from the would-be assassin of Donald Trump who shot him in the ear. Okay, here we go.
And are described as extreme in nature.
So in your revelations, you say thanks to this enterprising source who uncovered Crooks' hidden digital footprint, that we can see that he was misleading Congress by omission because he left out an entire section of Crooks' online interactions from January to August of 2020, when he did that ideological backflip that you just described and went from rabidly pro-Trump to rabidly anti-Trump and then went dark, never seeming to post again. I look at the vastness of his online presence: YouTube, Snapchat, Venmo, Zelle, GroupMe, Discord, Google Play, Quizlet, Chess.com, Quora. He was everywhere. So what are your sources revealing about what the former FBI director was sharing publicly to Congress in that moment?
Well, it really is inexplicable now that we see that evolution of Thomas Crooks from being pro-Trump to anti-Trump. It's inexplicable that Paula Bate would give only that first part of the trajectory for the would-be Trump assassin. And, you know, it just led Congress and led the public to think something different about Thomas Crooks than was the reality. I don't understand why Paula Bate would do that. And I think it would be good if Congress could bring him back and ask him why. I think the president and people close to him are understandably frustrated or unsatisfied. And I think the public is unsatisfied with the answers that we've been getting from the FBI, including in the, you know, Donald Trump FBI. We would expect it under Joe Biden, I guess, but there's no reason now why Senator Ron Johnson has had to subpoena the current FBI under Director Kash Patel for more information about Thomas Crooks, about the autopsy, about other forensic evidence and documents. And none of that's been forthcoming. And we see now from the exposure from our source of this online presence that there is a lot of other information that the FBI either chose not to look at or is somehow keeping it under wraps.
Wow. That is a lot.
I want to go now and focus. Ted Cruz, Texas Senator, Chairman of the Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee.
Dude, I heard today Ted Cruz might be running for president for 2028, but I think it's just BS. But I don't know. I heard that.
And member of the Foreign Affairs, Rules, and Judiciary Committees. A very busy man. Appreciate your time. First of all, just your thoughts on this affordability push right now by the Trump administration.
Well, listen, I think it matters at the bottom line. It matters at the kitchen table, and people feel it. I think we've clearly seen positive steps forward on energy prices. Energy prices have gone down and gone down dramatically in the year President Trump has been back in office. When you go fill up your car, it's a lot cheaper than it was a year ago. That also has impacts in pricing and just about everything else. When goods are getting to the department store, when goods are getting to the grocery store, all of that is transported. The energy for the trucks that are transporting it, that's less as well. And so that is working its way through the system. That being said, there are areas, and in fact, the list you put up there of where the tariffs are being decreased are specific foodstuffs where we've seen prices go up. And I commend the president for responding to real concerns that the voters have. And by reducing the tariffs, you should see the prices of each of those listed on the screen going down. I think that's a positive step forward. And I think the more we can do to help small businesses grow, to create jobs and opportunity, the better the economy is going to be, the more money people are going to have in their pockets, and that also is going to have the effect of pulling inflation down.
All right, Senator, I want to get to an issue that I know you feel strongly about, religious freedom. Tomorrow, I will anchor the Faulkner Focus live from outside the United Nations ahead of moderating a panel on the brutal violence and killings against Nigerian Christians. One Nigerian activist now is warning those attacks could wipe out the nation's Christian population in 2 generations unless there is urgent international action. President Trump is threatening exactly action.
We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns are blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities.
The president recently designated Nigeria as, quote, a country of particular concern, a CPC, over years of mass killings of Christians by Islamic terrorists, while the government, at best, turns a blind eye. UN Ambassador Mike Waltz will join me tomorrow. Here he is on what's happening there.
What you have is a terrorist organization, particularly in the north in Nigeria, Boko Haram, that is literally burning churches, massacring people, torturing people, running them out of their homes. President Trump put a spotlight on it. And, you know, really, kudos and thanks to someone like Nicki Minaj as a Christian, but as someone with the following that she has, and with a lot of followers who may not be paying attention to these kinds of issues.
All right, we'll get to the rap star Nicki Minaj part in a minute. The numbers are staggering. More than 7.
The numbers are insane. They're way higher than numbers from Palestine, and nobody talks about it. Literally, they needed Trump to come out and mention it. And then, of all people, Nicki Minaj, which, like they said, great, she's got a following, but nobody on the left wants to talk about it. And here's the funniest part ever. When Nicki Minaj mentioned it, the left hated her for mentioning it. For what reason? I have no idea.
1,000 Christians have been killed in just the first few months of this year. The stats are from January to August. We're mid-November now. More than 125,000 since 2009.
Dude, that's all. Those numbers are massive numbers. Those are way higher than Palestine.
A lot more people are dying now. Also, since 2009, 19,000 Christian churches have been burned. Senator Cruz, you have legislation you want to meet this, but first of all, let's talk about what's at stake.
Well, Harris, thank you so much for focusing on this topic because it is incredibly important. There is literally no country on planet Earth where Christians are being murdered at anywhere near the rate they are being murdered in Nigeria. As you noted, there has been systematic mass murder of Christians since 2009. We've seen upwards of 20,000 Christian churches and Christian schools burned to the ground. You have Boko Haram and you have other radical Islamic terrorists that are carrying out these mass murders. And infuriatingly, you have far too many government officials that are acquiescing or turning a blind eye to what is going on. I have been focused on this issue a long time, focusing on the atrocities of Boko Haram and other radical Islamic terrorists. I filed legislation to direct the State Department to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Thankfully, the president just did that, and President Trump is showing strong leadership responding to this mass murder of Christians in Nigeria. The next step is putting in place targeted sanctions on particular government officials who are complicit in what is happening. There are 12 states in Nigeria that have on the books Sharia laws and blasphemy laws. The federal government has on the books Sharia law and blasphemy law. Those laws are used to persecute Christians. Those laws are used both to go directly after Christians by the government, but also to justify the government doing nothing, looking the other way, while Boko Haram and the terrorists murder and commit horrible atrocities on these Christians.
W. Layak in Instagram, he's thanking Trump for doing what he did about Nigeria. Yeah.
And President Trump and the U.S. government is stepping in and saying we're not going to allow this mass murder to continue.
You know, the president saw this in 2019 when he first made them a CPC, that he was focused on them. And then Biden flipped that. So in the time of Biden's presidency, they killed so many more people, Christians and others throughout the country, but mostly Christians. Real quickly, as we go forward in this, you might be making some news. Axios led its morning newsletter with this headline: Scoop, Cruz eyes 2028 run. Senator Cruz, where are you on that?
Here we go.
Reporters are going to write headlines
as what we just talked about. Is he going to, let's see what he says. Is he going to run for president or what?
Get clicks and get eyeballs. I got a job. It's representing 31 million Texans, and it's fighting every day for 31 million Texans. And I'll tell you right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, before he tells us what he's about to say, of all the people that all of us talk about all the time about who's going to be 2028, who's going to be running, and who we think can win, he's not one of those names.
The wins we are getting are historic. The one big beautiful bill you were talking about just a minute ago, I was blessed to write major portions of that bill. I'll tell you two victories in that bill that I'm most proud of. Number one, I authored and passed into law the single most far-reaching federal school choice bill that has ever passed. Tens of millions of kids will get billions of.
Quinn says he's going to run and give the whole country to Israel. A couple of you guys mentioning Israel here. Yeah, I heard about him, and it looks like he loves Israel.
Dollars of scholarships to get out of failing schools and get to excellent schools of their choice. That will transform the lives of tens of millions of kids. And number two, I authored into law the so-called Trump accounts that starting next year, every child in America will have a personal investment account. You'll have $1,000 for newborns seated in that account. Parents can give up to $5,000 a year. It'll be invested in the S&P 500. And Harris, every single child in America is going to be an owner of the major employers in America. We're going to make a whole new generation of capitalists. And so the victories we are winning are a big deal. That's where my focus is. And it's why my focus right now is on the Christians in Nigeria, because working hand in hand, I was at the White House last week with the president talking.
Dude, he's definitely trying to sell what he's doing. So maybe he is trying to run. But guys, we talk about all kinds of different candidates. I know we joke and we say the great white hope for 2028.
The great white hope.
I mean, that's your daddy. That's Dan's daddy, Donald Trump, the great white hope 2028. But we talk about Vance. Who else? Who else? Rubio. The one that I see the most is Vance Rubio, guys. Come on. Vance Rubio, right? Those are the two big ones. We talk about Tulsi Gabbard. We talk about all kinds. There's all kinds of names out there, but we don't hear Ted Cruz, bro, and I don't think that would go down. MP Rich says, Medi, do you like Ron DeSantis? He did amazing things for Florida, and made it blazing red. Dude, Ron DeSantis is strong, bro. I think Ron DeSantis I think he's solid, to be honest, but we got a solid lineup for 2028. Now, I said this before, I'll say it again. If the Democrats get their shit together and start actually, acting more like Fetterman and learning how to actually talk and work with the other side and actually cater more to their own people. They're not even catering to their own people. Their own people want normal shit like closing the border, taking care of crime. They don't do that stuff. They're not talking about it. They're not doing it. If they do that, they have a chance to win 2028. But the way I see it, the conservative lineup is pretty darn good. So I don't know. I'm down with Ron DeSantis. If that's your question, just flat out, yes, I'm down with Ron. 100% down with Ron. I love Ron DeSantis, bro. I'm down with Ron.
Talking to him, thanking.
Dude, I'm curious. Can our boy from Louisiana run? Can Kennedy run, bro? I don't know. Can he? Is he a presidential guy? He's my favorite, bro, but he's a different guy. I don't know. I don't know.
Him for standing up for the Christians in Nigeria. As you noted, when Biden turned the other way, more and more murders occurred because when the commander-in-chief is absent, is AWOL, bad guys do really bad things, and I'm really glad we now have a strong commander-in-chief.
Beautiful Bill says, new scum, AOC will be the Democratic ticket. The socialist wing. Yeah, dude, AOC. AOC. Socialism. It's here. It's knocking on your doors. Yep. It has infiltrated New York City. Man, it's crazy. We live in a crazy time. I always say, what a time to be alive, but wow. A lot of other things come along with the incredible times that we have, and AOC is one of those wacky things that are mixed into that jambalaya that it makes what is this wonderful time that we live. Very interesting. It's a heck of a jambalaya, dude.
Chief who will stand up and say, we're not going to do nothing while you commit mass murder of Christians.
All right, you have given us a lot there, and if Axios or anyone else is watching, they may say you might run. I just wanted to get on the record with it. Thank you so very much, and you got me right to this next point. I'll let you go. Thank you, Senator.
Dude, of course Newsom's gonna be able to play everything off and say whatever he wants, lie to his side of the party, and they'll believe him. But Dude, the guy took billions and billions and billions and billions. Now I'm sounding like Trump. Billions and billions and billions of dollars to make a train in the middle of the desert go nowhere. Literally, it goes from nowhere to it starts from nowhere and it goes to nowhere. Literally nowhere. Like, and then homelessness. He was supposed to battle homelessness with billions and billions of I live in Southern California, of our California taxpayer dollars. He was supposed to do that. And he literally has no idea where the money went. They don't know where it went. And it's not like he can blame, like, it was because of this person that, was supposed to handle it and they screwed it up. It's like, no, they just legit have no answer. There's no answer. It's so weird, bro. Again, part of that jambalaya that is the world that we live in. Sharon Andrews says money laundering. Yeah. Yep. Billions and 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 billions. Oh, dude, I love it. Love it, bro. Love it. Let's close out with Trump, yeah? Let's close out with Trump. Let's go. Let's close out with Trump right here. Where's our daddy? Where's Daddy Trump, bro? Where's Daddy Trump? Here it is. The Democrats lost their minds. The liberal loser, lazy bums lost their minds. They went crazy, and now they need Daddy to come home from work and put them in check.
Eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail.
Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my
Biden
God.
used to be a hothead. When I said he was cogent, he's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Wow.
And F you if you can't handle the truth.
Wow.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. Guys, that's the end of our show. That was fun. That was a good time. That is your lefty, liberal, woke, bum, loser, lazy ass party that does nothing but point the fingers at someone else and lie about themselves, and you just saw it in person. They finally got caught in the lie in that debate, and they did everything they could to push a Indian woman and call her black. And here, actually, let's just play that. Let's just play that one too. Where is that one?
Annual National Association of Black Journalists Convention and Career Fair. We are about to begin a conversation.
Using the hashtag NA.
Hold on. Where is it at, dude? Where is the actual... Here, let me pull that. Here we go. That was it, dude. That was the time when she became a black person. Here we go.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage. And she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir,
she became a black person.
Sir, do you believe?
But she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian. She made a turn and she became a black person. Became a black person.
Just to be clear.
Became a black person.
Just to be
became a black person.
Just to be clear.
Only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now.
You remember that, guys? That's that party, bro. She became a black
She wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir.
I love it, bro. I love it. I mean, that is what it is, bro. That
Mr.
is
President,
what it is. There's nothing you could do about that. They lied to you. They put this dude and they lied to you. They lied to you for 4 years. This guy was in office for 4 years. They lied to you.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's.
That is what we had to deal with, guys. And this is what they told you. They stood up, and I got to replay this because this is what it is. This is what they told you.
This is, and start your tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Right before the debate, they had all of the Democratic Party telling you what Joe Scarborough is about to tell you right now.
And F you if you can't handle the truth.
He literally says F you. He's on MSNBC. He says, F you if you can't handle the truth. That's what he just said to you. All the Democrats were gaslighting the entire world. Literally the entire world.
Right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you read the New Yorker interview, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in Oshkosh.
What did you say? Look up Biden. Hold on. Medi, seriously, look up. Min says, look up. Attached earlobe Biden. Attached earlobe Biden. Attached earlobe Biden and detached.
Have you seen the Biden ear conspiracy? The
No.
earlobe conspiracy?
But how do you?
Have you seen the Biden ear conspiracy? The
No.
earlobe conspiracy?
But I love it. Already, I love it.
If you
Did
look
they
at
put
old
something in his ear?
photos of Biden,
Yeah.
his earlobe hangs down.
Ooh.
As he gets older, his earlobe is connected, which is impossible.
That's odd.
It's impossible. Like your ear doesn't change its position unless you get surgery.
So what do we think?
I think he had a facelift.
Oh, definitely.
100%, right?
Definitely.
Which is, by the way, that doesn't work on guys.
Right.
It doesn't
No, it
make,
doesn't.
It doesn't make.
Are his earlobes holding up his face, bro? Is that what it is? I never saw that, man. Is that the one you're talking about? Wow, dude.
In this case, there is, I think, a stark contrast. I don't think President Trump has done a lot of facial surgery. I don't see a lot of signs of it. I don't see the changes in his face. Whereas we're looking at President Biden, we do see some of those changes. And I do think throughout his career, he has undergone at least one, if not two facelifts. We can see his face changing. We can see the neck changing, then kind of come down, then coming back up again. And I also noticed that he had telltale signs of scarring by his ear and pixie ears. And then, of course, the brow. with him, the brow lines aren't the natural shape here. They kind of turn up over here.
It's like safety pinned on over in the corner.
My guess is that he did it a while ago and did an older procedure that they more commonly would have done in a woman, which includes a brow lift here.
Ah.
And in a man, it can look strange like that, or look, like you said, tacked up here, right? So I think that if he had done a more contemporary technique, it may not have been as noticeable, but that's probably resulted from an older facelift technique. In this case, there is, I think, a stark contrast.
There it is. All right, guys. That's the show for tonight. Happy Monday. That was your Monday medication. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. And appreciate you guys. Thank you. We hit 10K. We're at 10,100. We're moving. And it's time to go, guys. Miss Medication is waiting for me. And I got a lot of things to do. I got to work on some business stuff. I got to work on some other things. And I got to do some reading tonight before I go to bed, too. I need to do some reading. Yep. Thomas Sowell is calling me. Okay, guys. Love you guys. And appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. And can't wait to get back on tomorrow. Talk to you guys soon. See you guys. All right. Bye-bye.